Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Buckle up, the bold and the beautiful fans, because this theory might just blow the roof off the hospital. On July 3rd, Grace sauntered into Finn's office to chat about Liam's worsening condition. His tumor is growing, his hope is crumbling, and there's one treatment that could keep him alive longer. But Liam isn't biting. Suspicious, maybe. But hold on, because the real red flags started waving when Grace's phone wouldn't stop dinging. Now to the casual observer, Grace's, Cassandra Creech, annoyed little phone moment could mean anything. But this is B&B. Nothing is ever that innocent. Dr. Buckingham clearly didn't want Finn, Tanner Novlin, to know who was on the other end of that line. When she finally picked up, she hissed, "I can't talk right now," in a way that screamed guilt. So what's really going on? Here's the wild speculation. What if Grace isn't actually helping Liam, Scott Clifton? What if she's hurting him? Could she be secretly poisoning him? Think about it. Liam's convinced he's dying, but what if there's no tumor at all? What if his symptoms are the result of Grace's medication? It's a sinister thought, but this is the same soap where people fake deaths, swap babies, and push others off cliffs. A doctor slipping something nasty into her patient's IV. Totally on brand. But why would Grace, the always perfect professional, go rogue? Maybe she's being blackmailed. The phone calls could have been from someone holding something over her head. Maybe she's not as squeaky clean as we thought. What if Grace has been secretly in league with one of Liam's enemies? Could this all be part of a larger plot to drive Liam mad, alienate him from his loved ones, and bring him to his knees? Let's not forget Liam's long list of enemies. Could this be Bill's, Don Diamont, twisted revenge for something we don't know about? Or maybe Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, is trying to eliminate his rival once and for all. Heck, even Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, could have her hand in this mess. And if so, Grace could be the perfect puppet for their evil plan. Whether Grace is the puppet or the puppet master, we can't shake the feeling that something is off. If Liam ever wakes up to the possibility that he's been played, we might just see a shocking showdown in the hospital halls. Until then, keep your eyes on Grace. The doctor might not be as bold and beautiful as she seems. For weeks now, viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful have watched Liam Spencer's slow unraveling with growing alarm. Once steady, if not always wise, Liam has become erratic, paranoid, and deeply confused. His sudden blackouts, disturbing hallucinations, and bursts of rage are unlike anything the Spencer heir has exhibited before. Some blamed trauma, others pointed fingers at Steffi, Hope, or even Finn. But what if the source of Liam's alarming decline isn't a current love interest or rival at all? What if it's Grace Buckingham? Yes, that Grace. The overprotective, highly intelligent doctor who once sought to engineer her daughter Paris's future wit's end. She's returned to Los Angeles, seemingly for Luna's sake. But what if her obsession with control has spiraled into something darker, something far more twisted? 821. The perfect storm of vulnerability. It began innocently enough. After the confrontation between Steffi and Luna escalated at Forrester Creations, Grace stepped in to offer guidance and medical expertise. With Luna crumbling under emotional pressure and Sheila lurking in the shadows, Grace once again emerged as a maternal figure and voice of authority. But her interest didn't stop at Luna. Grace started appearing in more scenes with Liam, checking in on him after Sheila's rescue mission, lingering a bit too long during casual conversations, always analyzing. At first, Liam was grateful. With his father Bill banned from visiting, Hope emotionally distant, and Steffi caught in a tug-of-war between Finn and Luna, Grace offered a calm, listening presence. What Liam didn't realize was that his vulnerability made him the perfect test subject. Act 2. The medical mystery no one can solve. Shortly after his first session with Grace, who claimed she just wanted to monitor his stress, Liam began having trouble sleeping. He chalked it up to nightmares and the trauma of nearly losing Steffi and Kelly in the Luna incident. But then came the migraines, the blurred vision, the sense of confusion while driving. At the hospital, Lai ran tests and ruled out any organic cause. No tumors, no seizures, no history of psychosis. Thomas, of all people, suggested that Liam might be suffering from suppressed guilt. The more he tried to explain what was happening, the more people looked at him like he was unwell. Maybe he was. Or maybe he was being poisoned. The only person who didn't suggest therapy or stress management? Grace. Instead, she gave Liam herbal teas. Something to relax your nerves, she said, placing her hand over his and looking him dead in the eyes. You have to trust someone, Liam. Was he losing his mind, or being made to feel that way? Act 3. The strange connection between Grace and Bill. Here's where things take a sharper, even more sinister turn. Grace claims to barely know Bill Spencer, but viewers know otherwise. Flashbacks reveal that Grace once worked with a controversial pharmaceutical development firm linked to Bill's earlier ventures. Though he pulled out of the investment due to ethics concerns, Grace stayed involved. It's rumored that during that time, she experimented with neurological sedatives, compounds designed to cause confusion, compliance, and even emotional regression in patients. She was discredited, quietly removed from the board. She disappeared, until re-emerging in LA as the respected Dr. Buckingham. Is it possible Grace still has access to those compounds? Could she be dosing Liam with something that mimics a mental breakdown? The question no one wants to ask. Why? Act 4. Grace's real target isn't Liam, it's Steffi. While everyone's been focused on Luna's collapse, Grace has been watching Steffi Forrester like a hawk. In private scenes viewers are just now seeing, Grace has been quietly expressing her disdain for Steffi. She resents the way Steffi, humiliated Luna, sees her as a toxic influence in Finn's life, and believes she's the reason Luna almost broke. But killing Steffi would be too obvious, too criminal. What if instead Grace wants to destroy her emotionally by driving Liam mad? Grace ensures chaos in Steffi's life. Her ex spirals out of control, her daughter Kelly becomes unstable with worry, and her home becomes a war zone of guilt and confusion. Meanwhile, Grace positions herself as the ultimate caretaker, the only sane voice in a sea of dysfunction. Even more disturbingly, she could manipulate Finn into seeing Steffi as the trigger, thus driving him straight into Grace's preferred future. With Luna at his side and Steffi out of the picture, Grace isn't just targeting one person. She's playing chess with an entire family. Act 5. Clues that were always there. In retrospect, the clues were littered throughout the past month's episodes. The tea Liam keeps sipping from Grace's thermos, not hospital-issued, always homemade. The bracelet Grace wore during a scene with Lai, featuring a pendant linked to her former pharmaceutical firm. Her reaction when Lai mentioned sending Liam for a full psych evaluation, a flicker of panic masked by a smile. Her odd interest in Kelly's routine. You don't want her picking up Liam's erratic behaviors, do you? The way she dismissed Sheila's actions, subtly deflecting attention from the woman everyone blames, creating more smoke around others. Grace has been manipulating perception while staying behind the curtain. It's not her name anyone's been yelling. But that's exactly how puppet masters work. Act 6. The breaking point. Liam's collapse. In a recent cliffhanger episode, Liam collapsed at Forrester Creations. He'd been ranting about Steffi being watched, insisting that someone had tampered with his phone and left cryptic notes at his house. No one could find the notes. His phone appeared untouched. Ridge and Carter assumed he was having a psychotic break. Steffi, rattled, finally relented and agreed to keep Kelly away temporarily. That was Grace's signal. Viewers saw her in the shadows outside the Forrester building, watching as paramedics loaded Liam into an ambulance. Her face remained unreadable. But once alone in her car, she allowed herself the smallest of smiles. Mission, progressing. Act 7. a secret ally, Daphne sees through the smoke. But what Grace didn't count on was Daphne, Zen's mysterious friend from Paris, recently hired into Forrester's marketing team and now working closely with Hope for the future. Daphne, while seemingly just another fashionable face, has a sharp mind and a background in biochemistry. In a recent scene, she overheard Grace making a phone call referencing compound S4 and test subject resistance. Suspicious, Daphne followed Grace to a nondescript medical lab outside Beverly Hills. There she saw Grace delivering a vial and picking up a second one. When she confronted Grace, the doctor calmly denied everything. But Daphne didn't need her confession. She took a photo. She started her own investigation. Now, she holds the key to uncovering the truth, if she can survive long enough to share it. Act 8. Bill's rage, Hope's regret, and Steffi's rising suspicion. As Liam's condition worsens, Bill Spencer explodes with fury at the lack of answers. He storms into the hospital demanding results, and when Lai offers none, he begins hiring his own private medical investigators. Hope, meanwhile, starts showing signs of guilt. She remembers how she pushed Liam away, how she dismissed his concerns as paranoia. When she sees him restrained in a hospital bed, mumbling about the woman with the purple eyes, she begins to cry. Steffi's suspicion also grows. The turning point comes when Grace tries to comfort her and casually suggests that Liam may need long-term care, perhaps somewhere far away from Kelly. That sets off alarm bells. Steffi knows controlling people. She was raised by Taylor. She sees something dangerous in Grace's eyes. She begins to dig. Act 9. The final reveal, Grace's confession. In a shocking upcoming episode, rumored for July 18, Daphne confronts Grace with a photo of her at the lab and records their conversation. Grace doesn't admit everything, but she says just enough to suggest culpability. "You don't understand what Liam has done," she says. "How many lives he's shattered. He was never going to be held accountable. So I helped him feel what it's like to lose control, to doubt reality. Just like Luna did after the gummies. Just like I did when my reputation was ruined." Daphne leaves, shaken. Grace, where the walls are closing in, calls an unknown number. "It's time," she whispers. "Get rid of the files. We might need to accelerate the protocol." EPILOGD. Poison in the veins of the Forresters. If this theory is true, and all signs point to it, The Bold and the Beautiful is setting the stage for one of its darkest, most psychologically twisted arcs in years. Grace Buckingham, the grieving, over-controlling mother who once just wanted a good match for Paris, has turned into a calculating villain with a medical mind and no ethical boundaries. She's willing to break Liam in order to save Luna. She's willing to manipulate Finn to destroy Steffi. And she's using her intellect like a scalpel, cutting through trust, sanity, and family bonds. The question is, who will uncover the truth first? Will Liam survive this medically induced descent into madness? Will Daphne be silenced before she can deliver the evidence? And will Grace's true motives, fueled by revenge, grief, and something more unhinged, finally be exposed? One thing's for sure, in Los Angeles, the most dangerous weapons aren't fists or bullets. They're secrets, and tea laced with poison. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Boldy and BAUTFUL UPDAT YouTube channel for more update news.